How you doing today, Mr. Russo? Man, I'm so grateful and so blessed. I hounded my cousin Carl Gray for like a year and a half to get this done. This is like a dream come true of mine. You one of my idols. Um, I think first remember you used to write for the WWF magazine, but you was under an alias, right? What was the alias again?
Well, I hold on for a second. I
Mm.
am I is my video screen centered, or do I need to move it up or down?
No, no, you sent it. You good?
Okay.
Mm.
Well, yeah, man, I actually had many different names in the WWE magazine or
Mm.
F magazine. I was Vick Venom. I was
Big Venom, yeah, Big
yeah,
Venom.
Vick Venom, the Informer.
Mm.
Yeah, I had a couple of aliases. Bro, that beard is so over with me. How
you
how long how long have you been growing that beard?
man, I guess like I haven't cut it down like in almost like 8 months, nine
Now
months.
let me ask you this. Are you married?
No, no, no.
Okay, yeah, because see, man, I was letting my mine grow,
Mhm.
and my wife started being such a pain in the ass. I just got so tired of hearing my wife, man.
Well, you always had you always had like the 5 o'clock shadowish.
Yeah.
What was the guy the guy, not Burt Reynolds, the other guy that looked like Burt
Tom
Reynolds.
Selleck. Tom
Yeah,
Selleck?
you had
Yeah,
the Tom
yeah.
Selleck thing going on.
Yeah, but about a year ago, man, I mean, it was really bushy. It was the most I ever let it go, and my wife was just driving me absolutely crazy, bro.
So it wasn't over with your wife.
No, no, son. Yeah, bro, when you're married, you get to the point where you like just get so tired of hearing them that you just do it to end it. You know what I mean?
Keep the peace. So
Yeah,
you from New York originally, right?
yeah. I'm from Long Island, bro. I'm from the island. Where
Okay.
you where are you from?
I'm in DC. I'm Washington DC, born and raised, but New York is like my second home. I'm actually going up there next. I literally go up there like 3 times a week. Because I'm into podcasting. I'm into music. I covered the P Diddy trial. I
Oh
was up there.
wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm a Knicks fan, so I mean it's like New York City adopted me, bro. So it's like that. That's this. I think as for as DC is a political town.
Yeah.
And New York is a creative paradise. It's like an
Yeah.
ADHD paradise. It's stimulating. Somebody who's creative like me, I get inspired when I go there. I don't feel overwhelmed. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I love New York and everything. So take me back to how did you get your start in wrestling? And because you're not from the standpoint, you're not like the traditionalist type wrestling prototype guy to me.
No, I'm not. And even as a fan, man, even when I was young and I was a fan of wrestling, man, I was not one of these marks. I mean, I was never obsessed with wrestling ever. I enjoyed watching wrestling like I would enjoy, watching baseball or, anything. I liked it. It was fun, but I was never, ever, ever obsessed with it. But what happened was, I got married at a very young age at 22 years old. I wound up having two very successful video stores on Long Island, and
Mm.
then Blockbuster moved in.
Oh
So,
man, that killed
yeah,
the independent video game.
absolutely. And, I saw the writing on the wall. I knew they were going to put us out of business.
Mhm.
I was at the time, I was doing some advertising on a local wrestling radio show, and I just took that opportunity to parlay it into my own wrestling radio show on Long Island. And then from there, I just wrote to Linda McMahon looking for an opportunity. And she said the magazine was looking for freelance writers. I got hired as a freelance writer. Soon after that, I got the job as the editor of the magazine. And then the rest is really just history.
It's crazy when you talk about the videos because being here in DC, we had a videos called Earl Videos,
Mhm.
ERO, and then that was like the prominent video hub. And then when Blockbuster came, it was like all the local mom and pop video places went out of town. The only ones that were open were the porn joints.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That was the only ones that
Yeah.
survived
I
it.
love, man. I swear to you, man, I loved owning my video stores because I love movies. I love being my own boss. Bro, I would have done that forever. Like if Blockbuster did not put us out, I would have done that forever. I really, really love that job.
And look what happened when Netflix did the blockbuster. Ain't that crazy?
Exactly, man. Yes,
in
yes.
life, you got to learn when to pivot because it's something always depending like with AI now. So you had the foresight to pivot, which was
Yeah.
great. And game changing to you. So I wanted to ask you a question as far as like your involvement in the WWE. A question I want to ask: what do you think would have happened if Brian Pillman would have lived, and how would it impact the Attitude Era with feuds with like Stone Cold and The Rock? How do you think that trajectory would have happened if he would have
Oh
been
God,
alive?
bro, it would have been tremendous, man. I wish I would have had that opportunity
Mhm.
because he was really all about attitude, man. Everything about Brian Pillman, from the way he carried himself to his look, to his performance in the ring, to his performance on the mic. Oh my God, bro. He would have been, I mean, right smack in the mix of everything. God, I can't imagine, feuds with, even somebody like Shawn Michaels. And, if he eventually would have turned on Bret Hart, I mean, my God, like,
The
oh,
possibilities.
it would have been a dream, man. It would have been an absolute dream.
Look, and the thing I asked that because I feel like he caused a paradigm shift in wrestling, and I say that because me being from DC, DC, Baltimore, Mid Atlantic is WCW, NWA territory. I was a WWE fan, but I was always a WCW guy just because of that territory was more, you know,
Yeah.
kind of South Mid Atlantic. The thing, what I was, of course, as a kid, baby, the faces, I liked him when he was flying Brian,
Yeah.
and I couldn't stand the bad guys. But when he turned heel in '92, for whatever reason, I stayed a Brian Pillman fan. I didn't
Yeah.
understand. I was like, yo, he's a bad guy. And I usually traditionally don't like bad guys, but it just felt so authentic and so real. And then when he did the Hollywood Blondes, it was just like, this is my guy. I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good or bad.
Well, I think you said it right there, bro. He came across as real,
Mhm.
and I think that's a big problem with today's business. I mean,
Mhm.
when I watch Raw and SmackDown, I don't believe these people.
Yeah.
They're not real at all. You could tell they're cutting promos off of scripts. And they don't talk like people. They talk like wrestlers. Bro, I've been saying this for decades. The only people that talk like professional wrestlers are professional wrestlers.
Right.
People don't talk like that in real life, man.
Nah. And you know what they remind me? They remind me of social media stars.
Yeah.
More
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
anything. More
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
anything.
Yep.
Because it does have a I mean, the crazy thing about it, as far as production, all the bells and whistles out there, but the feeling is not. You
Yes.
know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I
Yes.
think that's what the problem is. It's like everything has advanced, but that has kind of regressed in the sense of just, like you said, just the spirit of it. And it's like it's too polished to me.
Yeah, I agree with you 1000%. One thing about Raw, like, is it really was raw.
Yeah, right,
It
right.
was gritty. It was,
Media stars.
yeah.
More
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
anything. More
Yeah.
than anything.
Yep.
Because it does have a I mean, the crazy thing about it, as far as production, all the bells and whistles out there, but the feeling is not. You
Yes.
know what I mean?
Exactly.
And
Yes.
that's what the problem is. It's like everything has advanced, but that has kind of regressed in the sense of just, like you said, just the spirit of it. And it's like it's too polished to me.
Yeah, I agree with you 1000%. One thing about Raw, like, is it really was raw.
Yeah,
It
right, right.
was gritty. It was dirty. It was dangerous. Like, you never knew what you were gonna get. It really was raw. Man,
Mhm.
when you look at that word, there's nothing raw about Raw today. I mean, absolutely nothing, man, you know?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say this though. There's not enough. Do you think because WWE had some blunders? Do you think it was better than the year 1995 in WWF, which was looked upon as like one of the dog years?
It probably is. It probably is because in 95, bro, you had such over the top campy
Yeah,
characters. Like,
yeah.
it was It was absolutely ridiculous. So it probably is, because at least you don't have those corny cornball characters today, you know?
Right. So I want to fast forward to '99. I think that's when you made a transition to WCW. And like I said, me being I love all wrestling, but I can't admit I was a WCW guy. When you came, before you came, man, it was, I think everybody talk about the finger poke of death and that whole thing. And after that, it was like WCW just hit this creative wall, and it was like I didn't know what was going on. It was no direction. And then you and Ed came, right? Y'all came together, right?
Yeah,
You and
yeah.
Ed came, and I felt like y'all gave it a jolt. It was like the first time in months, because I'm 42, so at this time I'm like around 17. It was the first time where the show was fast paced. It
Mhm.
felt different. It felt like a more of it, and it felt like you were catering to the newer talent. So I always been curious about the new blood angle. Why did you abandon that angle so early? Because I feel like it was brilliant. I feel like it was like a civil war with how life is, like the old men versus the young up and coming entitled brats versus the guys who don't want to give
Yeah.
up their spot because they feel like they earned it. Why was that
Well,
angle abandoned so early,
well,
bro?
it really wasn't abandoned, bro. Like I had gotten I had gotten concussed,
Mm-hmm.
and I kept getting in the ring, and I kept getting my bell rung over and over and over again. And then finally, the last straw was when Goldberg speared me through that cage.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
bro, I went home after that. I was done.
That
Like
was it.
oh, that was it. So like I didn't abandon anything. Like that literally was my last show. I went home after that. I had post-concussion syndrome.
Wow.
And it was soon after that that, the WWE bought the company. So I don't think that was ever abandoned. I just wound up getting pretty messed up, physically.
Now, for you not to be like an on camera guy, I feel like you was a real dope heel, bro. I really, I
Well,
really,
you know why, bro? Because it was so easy. Why? Because people hate New Yorkers.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
that simple, bro. Everybody hates New Yorkers. So my whole mentality was, bro, you want to hate New Yorkers? I'm gonna give you a reason to hate freaking New Yorkers. So I just played it like a million times over the
Yeah,
top because
yeah.
bro, my whole life I've been dealing with people that hate New Yorkers,
Mm-hmm.
especially like in the wrestling business. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, bro, no problem. I'm going to give you a real reason to hate New Yorkers.
Now, one of the highlights of the New Blood in retrospect to me, which is genius, it was a few highlights. It was the rebrand of Prince IK as the artist formerly known as Prince. That was clever.
Yeah.
Um, 3 count. That was
Yeah.
because that was the boy band era craze.
Yeah.
That was people always knock that, but like I said, you being a writer and a creative, you basically took what was going on in pop culture and
Right.
just put it in a capsule, and it was like, and when you think about it, it was brilliant. I mean, I think a lot of times with so many wrestlers, they like traditionalists and they had this idealism of what it's supposed to be versus what it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
And then another highlight was I feel like he was hilarious, man. Mike Sanders.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh
Mike
man,
Mike
Mike is
Sanders
incredible.
he was so good, bro. He was so, bro. You know what happened, bro? Like after WCW shut down,
Hmm.
they invited Mike over to the WWF, and one of the reasons I don't like Paul Heyman
Hmm.
is because Paul Heyman was threatened by Mike Sanders because he was such a good promo. Paul Heyman did everything in his power to make sure Sanders never got a job with the WWE. And
So
that's one of the reasons why I'm not a very big fan of Paul Heyman.
so basically insecure gatekeeping, basically.
Exactly, bro. Which is a part of wrestling, man. When somebody comes along that is a threat to you or better than you do everything you can to keep them away, man.
You know what's crazy when it comes to that? I personally can't subscribe to that, right? Because everybody has insecurities.
Right.
The thing I'm grateful of, I don't know if it's God given. I don't know if it's just I'm a very, and my cousin Carl will tell you, I'm a very self aware person. I'm big on accountability. I'd rather be hurt by the truth than comfort by lies. So let's say if I see a guy that who looks better than me, who might be in better shape than me, I might feel a hint of jealousy. But instead of lashing out, I look inward. And
Yeah.
then the jealousy turns into inspiration, saying, you know what, I want to be like, let me talk to this guy. Let me see what he's doing
Yeah.
to better himself because I'm capable just as he is.
Yeah.
Or I could look at it like he brings something different that could elevate us all, and all I have to do is bring what I bring. You get what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Oh, I get 1,000% what you're saying, bro, because I wanted to always work with people that were going to make me better.
Mm.
Because if you're first of all, like my mentality has always been this, bro, you're not going to outwork me. No, nobody's going to work harder than me. And I've got 100% confidence in my ability. So I'm not going to be scared of the guy that comes along because he's not going to work harder than me. And quite frankly, he's not better than me. But I wanted to work with people that were going to make me better. I wanted to work with people that were going to challenge me and inspire me. Those are the people I wanted to work with. Like, you talk about Ed Ferrara. Bro, if I was anybody else, Ed would have never gotten a job in professional wrestling because when we tried Ed out, bro, Ed had already written movies. Ed had already written television shows. I hadn't done any of that, but I knew, bro,
You know what he brought.
this guy can teach me how to write like it's a movie, how to
Mm.
write like it's a television show.
Mm.
So, like, I welcome that with open arms. But, bro, if I was anybody else in wrestling, I would have freaking buried Ed to Vince. I would have, told Vince, I would have made shit up. But I knew this guy could teach me so many things I didn't know.
Yeah. That's an interesting thing. With that being such a testosterone filled, masculine, dominant, why do you think it's so catty and so fucking bitchy?
You know why it is, bro? You want me to be totally honest with
Yeah,
you?
yeah,
Bro, you got a lot of uneducated people. You
yeah.
you really do, bro. You got a lot of people like just
A lack of emotional intelligence.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And lack of real world experience and lack of dealing with people and lack of communication skills. You've got a lot of that, bro. And bro, I was lucky because when I started working there, like, bro, I was in my early 30s. So
Mm-hmm.
I had already been out in the world. I had a college education. I already owned my own business. I worked for CBS Publishing for a while. I'd been out in the world. I'd been out in the workforce. I knew how to deal with people.
You wasn't socially awkward.
Absolutely, bro. And a lot of these wrestlers, I mean, they had dreams of becoming wrestlers when they were 14 and 15 years old. And then they're going to wrestling school at 17. They'd never been out there in the real world. And if you don't have that experience in the real world and learn how to deal with people, bro, you're going to have some problems in life.
I agree, man. I see that a lot. And I'm grateful because at one point in time, my cousin could tell you, I used to run the streets. And, I was hustling and I was doing all, but this is the dynamic that's crazy about life. The guy who I am today, that that's smart, that's well spoken, I kind of suppressed that to fit in with the streets because I
Right.
didn't want to look corny, you know what I
Right.
mean? But
Yeah.
then as I got older, I realized that's kind of the attitude I had was kind of regressive. But I'm grateful for those lessons because it taught me how to look for emotional manipulation. It taught me how to deal with fake people. It taught me how to deal with the cutthroat thing. And one thing I learned in life and business is no permanent friends and no permanent enemies when it comes to business.
Yeah. Right.
Wrestling, wrestling is a perfect example of
Yeah.
that.
And bro, wrestling's also a perfect example of everything you just said because bro, you're dealing with so many people and they all have different personalities. Bro, you gotta at times you really gotta be a psychologist. You got to know what's in their head, what they're thinking, how to approach them, what to say. That was a big, big, big part of my job, bro. I had
Mhm.
to treat everybody differently and I had to really know who they were, like in their head and in their heart, so I could deal with them in the proper manner.
Hey, that's a great point. I would like to, with the recent passing of Hulk, I would like to know, how do you feel about him and how do you view his legacy? It's a lot of controversy about him. I personally, me, I love Hulk. I separate the man from the character. The character I love, the man is a man. He's flawed, so I don't hold this thing of like, if we was all secretly recorded, all of us would fucking be in trouble. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I don't hold. I'm not excusing his actions, but I'm not. I don't like what I don't like about this era is the virtual signaling we do a lot of times, and pointing fingers at him. So I want to know about how you feel about his passing. And also, did y'all ever get over that Bash at the Beach 2000 situation?
Well, yeah. I mean, first of all, bro, again, it's the Bash at the Beach was a work.
Okay.
Hulk was in on everything. Eric was in on everything. I don't even want to get into it again, but we
Mhm.
were all on the same page. That promo was not a shoot promo.
Okay.
Hulk, so with that
Y'all
being
heard it from the you heard it from the horse's
yeah,
mouth.
yeah. With that being said, like, bro, two things. Like, number one, I swear to God, bro, it's like I still find it hard to believe he's
Yeah,
gone. Like
yeah, it
Hulk
don't feel
Hogan,
real.
bro, like he is wrestling.
Hmm.
Like there's no like, bro, I work with Austin and The Rock and all those guys.
Hmm.
Bro, Hulk's wrestling. I mean,
Hmm.
there's no question about it. And if people don't understand how important Hulk was, that's because you weren't around. I
Yeah.
was around in
Hmm.
1981. I know how huge this dude was.
Hmm.
So, man, it really was, and it really felt like losing Babe Ruth. I mean, it really has, and I'm with you on the other part of that, bro. We are all flawed.
Hmm.
Every single one of us. Nobody is perfect.
Hmm.
Everybody. There's only one entity that's perfect, and it
Hmm.
ain't none of us, bro. So and again, bro, like being a Christian guy, what is the number one thing in the Bible? Forgiveness, bro. It's
Hmm.
all about forgiveness. So I'm like you. He was a flawed human being. I'm a flawed human being. I am never gonna hold against anybody, making mistakes because we can't help ourselves. We're going to make mistakes.
And it's two components. I look at it right. For him, people say he was narcissistic, he was a control freak, he was this and that. But if you never walked a mile in his shoes,
Right.
been in that position of power, been in I mean, being like a godlike figure, it's hard to manage that. So it's easy for you if you never had that level of success as a critic to criticize that.
Yeah.
Um, Go ahead.
Yeah, no, bro, I would have never wanted to be in his spot because
Right.
everybody wanted his spot.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wanted his spot. So
Mm-hmm.
he couldn't have known who were real friends, who were phony friends. He always had to have eyes in the back of his head. He could never trust anybody. He was very paranoid. That's what the wrestling business does to you. And
Mm-hmm.
when you're in that type of a spot and everybody wants that spot, bro, for all the money in the world, I would not have wanted to be in his shoes, bro. I
Yeah,
I, I mean that from the bottom of my heart, man.
I get it. And so growing up, I'm gonna be honest. Hulk during the yellow and red in the '80s, '90s. He was. I didn't hate him, but he was just corny to me, right?
Yeah.
I was more of an Ultimate Warrior, Sting guy, the Rockers, that type of guy. What made me, because Hulk Hogan is my favorite wrestler and my favorite heel of all time. When he turned to Hollywood Hogan, it was such a paradigm shift, and it was such a just it was just like a total difference. And I was just like, yo, this dude's great. And it reminded me of when Michael Jordan dominated and then he retired and then he came back and dominated again.
Yeah.
Hogan dominated. He caused two paradigm shifts, dominated in two eras, different eras.
Yep.
And it was just like, I was just like, holy shit.
Yeah, no,
That's when it hit.
absolutely.
That's when it hit me. Was like, oh, he's the goat. He's the
Absolute, bro, 1000%.
goat.
Absolutely 1000%.
Yep, he's the goat. So I wanted to ask you a creative question. I had this question with my cousin Carl. the NWO storyline seemed like it was dragged on forever.
Yeah.
Do you think I had a scenario where is that the NWO storyline would Eric Bischoff would get hit with a kayfabe RICO charge for laundering Ted Turner's money. It would have been a kayfabe trial and everything. They would have documented every week. They was hit with the RICO. They have Hall Nash, all the guys investigated. And then the guys, the NWO, Hall Nash, Bischoff, and everybody else would cut a deal solely blaming Hogan. Then Hogan would get redeemed and turn face. How do you think that would have worked?
Bro, I listen, here's what a lot of people don't realize, bro. The the main reason that the attitude era overcame the 83-week streak. The main reason was because Eric creatively ran out of ideas for NWO. So, bro, they beat that thing so deep into the ground that it didn't mean anything anymore. And, bro, that was the opening we needed. We just needed a little opening where people were bored with it. Now it was watered down. They didn't know what to do or where to go with it. And that's when we kind of snuck in. So, yeah, bro, I agree. Like, if they would have done something like that, a major storyline, a major shift, that's what they needed badly, bro. But they didn't know what to do. I mean, it was so hot when it started, and then when it started sizzling, they did not know how to revive it, and that gave us the opportunity to get in the fight.
And they didn't know how to pivot. And the reason why I said, a mock RICO trial, and because they ran themselves like a fake criminal organization. It was like a mob type mentality. And then what in popular culture at the time, you had The Sopranos, you had Court TV, and all these things. I'm like, if they would have tapped into that, it could have gave it a shift because it would have gave it the realism. And then it could have redeemed Hogan. And then you could have went in a different direction of like you just didn't disband the group. It was a criminal organization that got
Right. That
took
would
it
have been
down by the
great,
higher
bro.
power. You
That
know
would
what
have
I'm
that would have been great.
right. So as far as impact in different eras, the golden eras in the 80s or the attitude era, which one is more impactful to you?
I think the golden era in the 80s. I think the WrestleMania 1 to 3 WrestleMania 1 to WrestleMania 3. I say that all the time, bro, without a shadow of a doubt. I think those 3 years were absolutely the best years in wrestling. I really do.
Because we wouldn't have got the attitude era without it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely not.
And two
Absolutely not.
two more questions. Who is the greatest, the GOAT heel of all time and the GOAT face of all time, in your opinion?
Wow. Well, I would say the GOAT babyface was Hogan.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wouldn't say Hollywood was the GOAT heel. I would not say Hollywood was the GOAT heel, but I would say Hulk Hogan, red and yellow was the baby face.
Right.
God, when it comes to heel,
That's a tough one.
what are yours?
I say I would go with the Hogan as the GOAT heel of all. I mean, the GOAT face of all time. Heels, I have a top three. I have Rick Rude. I think he was a great heel. Um, this might surprise you. I think Vince McMahon is probably one of the most best heels of all time that doesn't really get the credit.
Bro, as I'm sitting here and names are coming to me, I would say Vince McMahon was the greatest heel of all time.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you would stand, and when I tell people, people look at me like I'm crazy. I'm like,
No,
nah.
no, no, bro. I still go back and review the Attitude Era shows.
Mm,
What an unbelievable heel. What
yeah.
an
I mean, he even
unbelievable.
had the look.
Yeah,
It was almost like he was just who he was, but he just magnified it.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
He just
absolutely.
he just amplified it and pumped it up. I'm torn between Ric Flair and who else? Who else can I put there? The third Flair. My mind is going Triple H. Triple H is in the conversation. I think he was a great heel. too.
Do you know anything about? I mean, this is way before your time, but do you know anything about Ernie Ladd, the big cat?
I heard of him.
Yeah,
I don't know, but I heard of him.
he was. If you can go back and watch some of his stuff, he was a tremendous heel.
Okay.
Tremendous heel. Yeah, yeah,
So right now, how do you feel about the current state of wrestling, and where do you feel like it needs to go? Like from the
yeah.
AEW to the the big one WWE. What do you think? What do you think it need to go to do?
Bro, I am not a wrestling fan at all in 2025. They lost me, bro. They
Hmm.
lost me. I watch it because I get paid to watch it. That's the only
Hmm.
reason I watch it. I would not be watching it if I wasn't getting paid. I don't enjoy it. I think it sucks. I think it insults my intelligence. There's nothing that I believe or think is real. Bro, quite frankly, I think it absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, is the worst show on TV.
Hmm.
I really do. I know what we wrote, and I know what it took, and I know the work that we put in. And when I put on these shows today, bro, it looks like somebody wrote these shows in 5 minutes.
You know, I don't like to be a prisoner of nostalgia, because everything evolves, even for good or bad. Um, I just don't think we ever get
No.
that feeling like we ever get. I just think that's just what it is. It's no
Yep.
knock on anybody.
Yep.
I don't think it can never be. It was almost like lightning in a bottle.
Hmm.
It's just the feeling, the timing. It was like a perfect storm of just creativity, where we were in society, the business, and I just think we just so far gone from those days. Um, Maybe we can get a glimpse of it back. Hopefully, I don't know, but I don't foresee it. You know.
I don't know. I don't either, bro. Not at all.
Yeah.
Those days are
Mhm.
long gone. I would not want to work in today's wrestling industry. I would not want to be a part of it. It's all about making money now.
Mhm.
I don't think they care about the fan anymore. I mean, we're seeing these ticket prices, which are
Crazy.
outrageous. And now, yeah, now I got to pay ESPN to watch wrestling. I got to pay Netflix. I got to pay this. I got to pay that. It's a money grab, bro. It
Mhm.
has turned
Corporate.
into absolutely 1000%. And that all started when Vince left. I don't think this would be happening if Vince were still around, because I could tell you this, I really do believe Vince McMahon cared about the fans. In today's wrestling industry, I would not want to be a part of it. It's all about making money now.
Mhm.
I don't think they care about the fan anymore. I mean, we're seeing these ticket prices, which are
Crazy.
outrageous. And now, yeah, now I got to pay ESPN to watch wrestling. I got to pay Netflix. I got to pay this. I got to pay that. It's a money grab, bro. It
Mhm.
has turned
Corporate.
into absolutely 1000%. And that all started when Vince left. I don't think this would be happening if Vince were still around, because I could tell you this, I really do believe Vince McMahon cared about the fans. I
Mhm.
don't think they care about the fans anymore today.
Yeah, yeah, true. Well, thank you, man, for your time. Do you have any upcoming things that you got going on, or any are you gonna be in any like events or conferences or anything you want to plug?
Yeah, not really, bro. I just do my podcast. I've been doing it for over a decade now, and
Hmm.
it's russosbrand.com. And if you've never tried it out, you could go to my Patreon and get a free week. So you could sample it. It's patreon.com/Russo
No.
TWC. Just grab your free week, try us out, and see if you want to join.
All right, I appreciate. And one more thing, do you have a line or contact information on Nash? Because I would like to, I would, see what his arrangement and setup is for to try to do an interview with him. Because that's one of my dream interviews. If you know.
I don't know, man. I don't think I know he's got his own podcast, bro, but
Hmm.
I don't know if he's doing any.
Then okay,
But
yeah.
I'll find out for you, bro, because his co-host on the that does a podcast with him, Sean Oliver.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm really tight with Sean. So
Okay,
like I would and like bro, I probably talk to Sean once a week.
okay,
I'll ask Sean if he might be interested in doing an interview with you. I'll ask
okay,
him.
okay. And listen, bro, again, you're one of, I'm not even joking, you're one of my childhood heroes. I'm grateful because I want to share some a sentiment moment. I don't want to get all sappy, but at one point in time, I had suffered from real bad post traumatic stress as a kid. I seen some traumatic things when I was young, and I think seen some things to the point where I had to be hospitalized for it.
Mm.
But the wrestling and the time period you was involved was really a sanctuary for me. It was a time where when I was feeling anxious, I would feel at peace. I would feel entertained. I would feel joy, and I would feel um, great. And you were partly responsible for that. And just to have this moment, I'm so grateful. I thank you for everything, bro. Really.
I really appreciate that, bro. Stuff like that really, really does mean a lot to me. It
Mm.
really does, bro. So I appreciate that, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, like I said, man, Darius is great signing off. Anything else you want to say, bro?
No, that's it, bro. I enjoy doing this. You ever want to do it again, man? Just let me know, bro. I
Okay, we could do it.
appreciate
We
it.
could do it. Yeah, I email you and we could do it, man. It's great conversation, man. I appreciate you. Okay.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Have a good one.
Take care, man.